Cowboy Donald Cerrone has re-entered the or it's not USADA, but the drug testing pool at the age of 41. What do
Yeah.
you think about that? What do you think about him coming back from his steroid vacation,
Oh,
nice
you
and
had to
tanned?
say it. You had to say it.
Ooh. I mean, look, I don't. His testosterone level now, after being off and his 6 months of having to piss clean and this and that, I mean, it's going to be back down. The muscle he built will eventually, kind of go back to what it should be for someone who was not on testosterone. Let's be honest. Take a look at pictures of Vitor Belfort when he was on TRT, and take a look at him less than a year later. Completely different body. Completely different body. So, I think that it's going to benefit him? I don't think it is. He wants 2 fights. He told his wife no matter what. I read that little article where Cowboy said 2 fights and 2 fights only. That's all I'm coming back for. I want to have 50. I think it's 50 fights. He wants to hit the number 50. It's in him. He's like driving for it. I just want to know how much of this confidence of coming back was because of the TRT, the peptides, and all the other stuff, feeling like you can do it again. But if you're going to, I think, John, we've had these discussions with myself. I always say, I'm getting the itch a little bit. Let me go ahead and start training again. I go for a 5-mile run, and I realize in that 5 miles, then nah, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back.
That's it.
And then I jump in the car and drive 5 miles, and I'm like, fuck, it took me this long to get this far. Like, I'm like, it's just one of those. It's one of those things that I think I see why he wants to do it. I just hope they match him up with fighters that are in that same category. The Jim Millers, if maybe even bring a Pettis back. I don't know. Maybe we see him versus Stephen Thompson.
Oh.
40 years old, 41 years old. I don't know what weight class he's going to fight at. He's saying maybe 85. I think once he gets off and he's clean for about 6 months, I think you'll see him back down to the 170.
I'm going to disagree with you on the fact that it doesn't matter what you look like. It matters what it helps you in performance. Looks don't mean a goddamn thing. It's how does that muscle fiber react?
Paul Bonatello is walking proof of that. Looks don't mean shit. Yeah.
But and so it's one of those, is it right? Is it fair? Have you heard of the enhanced games?
No.
You haven't heard of the enhanced games? There is a group.
What is it?
There's a group out there that is trying to put together basically an Olympics, but you can take whatever you want. We don't care. Everything you want to
get the fuck out of here.
What we want is we want the best performance out of an athlete possible. We want to show exactly how far you can be pushed, being enhanced, and what you can do. So we're looking to say, the Olympic champion ran, in 100 meter, ran a 9.98. Well, our guy just ran an 8 point something. So that's what it's about. Look, there's a big push behind this thing, and there's a reason for it because people always want to push the envelope, and I understand it. But I got to take a look and say, when you have a company in the UFC, and this is one of those, it's that tough position. You got Dana, who loves Cowboy, and I understand why. I don't blame him in any fashion.
How do you not love Cowboy? I know you do. I know you do. I'm
absolutely.
saying
and look, I'd love to see Cowboy come back and get the right fights, but is it actually fair? No different than it would have been with Conor. Conor obviously beefed up for his movie role and everything. Okay. And
is that what we're calling it? Beefed up?
Beefed up. And
sauced up, more like it.
Cowboy, you came out saying he beefed up. Is it going to make the difference when he's completely off? I can't say that it is, but there's always going to now be that hint, that asterisk, that he had taken TRT, and that's the only part that I look at and you go, there's always going to be that mark. Now, people are going to sit there and say it when Cowboy had this career that was, as fun to watch, as exciting, as entertaining, and clean as it could be. You know,
I don't think people are going to feel that with that asterisk next to him. And
I don't
the reason
know.
being, John, he's not making a title run.
Yeah, that's true.
He's coming back for 2 fights, and I honestly believe that this conversation was with Dana White already before him saying he wanted to come back, was to basically say, I'm going to come back for the fights that are fun for me. Here's a couple opponents that I have my eyes on.
Yeah.
Can you just do this for me? Because he's done a lot for the UFC.
Oh,
he
yeah.
deserves everything that they are willing to give him.
Absolutely
He
agree.
deserves it.
I agree.
So
I totally agree. That's why I say I don't blame Dana. I understand why, but it's a tough one because you're this company that's trying to say, hey, look, we test, we want a clean sport, we want this. Well, you're bringing back a guy that fucking openly was taking stuff. Mm-hmm. It makes it rough. It does. But like I said, I can totally understand why they're giving Cowboy that opportunity.
John, you just gave me an idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
For a new business.
Boom.
I'm gonna start my first fight promotion, and this can be all steroids are legal.
Enhanced fighting.
Go.
Enhanced fighting championship.
That's what we're gonna call it. Enhanced fighting.
Boom.
EFC. That's exactly what we're gonna call it. EFC. Enhanced Fighting Championships.
I like it.
This is brilliant. I mean, let's be honest,
right? And then we're gonna put next to it, AKA Pride.
And look how great that organization was. But I mean, let's be honest. All your fighters will have the look. They'll be extremely marketable. They'll fight their ass off for about 1.5 to 2 minutes, and they'll get tired, and muscles will fill up, and they'll get knocked out,
and they'll be finishes.
And you're you'll be finishes. and what you're gonna look. Let's just be honest. It's Micah Musumeci brought this up. The sport of jiu-jitsu is flooded with steroid use.
Oh yeah.
Flooded with steroid use. The Rulu Trailblazers have spoken out against it several times, endless times, that they are the natty crew. And I love that about them, that they are so vocal about it. But if you were to start a new organization that you knew you were going to end up having fights or fighters, if I'm a fighter, would you, knowing that if I'm natural and I can still go in there and compete against guys that are all sauced up and become the champion of the give me the EFC?
And the Enhanced Fighting Champion.
The Enhanced Fighting Champion, EFC. If I can be the champion of the EFC, the Enhanced Fighting Championship, I really am the best fighter in the world.
Yeah.
Am I right?
It might be.
John, you know what? We might be onto something.
Yeah, that's
okay?
it.
But no, is there repercussions though?
It can be.
Insurance.
Like how so?
Well, insurance wise, maybe.
You have athletic commissions that have their own rules too. So you'd have to go to places that didn't have testing.
But okay, so why do commissions have the authority to do that? It's my promotion, my business. Why? I want to just do I don't want to do testing.
And
can't you opt out of the testing?
No. You can try, but
be like, hey, I don't want any of my fighters tested. I don't give a shit.
You, as we'll say, the promoter. So you're the promoter of the EFC, and you go and you say, I want to bring my show here, and they say, okay, well, you need to get a license. And with getting that license, you as the promoter are going to follow certain regulations of the state. And one of those regulations will be, we do testing for these things. And so then you've got to sit there and boo.
Yeah, boo.
Boo.
The crowd goes boo.
So yeah, there would have to be some negotiating done.
That's interesting. I mean, because look, if I have a business and I say, hey, look, I want to allow this to happen. Let's be honest. I fought in Pride. In their contract, it said the only thing they tested for was weed and we do not test for steroids. We basically for weed and cocaine. Those are the two things they did test us for. Was weed and cocaine. That was it. They said we do not test for performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs.
Yes. So what they were telling you,
best fights.
What they were telling you is we do not test for performance-enhancing drugs. If you would like some, contact.
Here's the 800 number. Here, you know what? There's something that came to my mind when we were just talking about commissions. The UFC has their outfits with the Venom outfits. It was the Reebok outfits before. PFL's moved into the kind of that same thing.
Yeah, uniform look kind of thing.
Yeah, uniform look. Can fighters now? Because I know that you can't wear the long leggings.
No, you're not allowed to have that.
But can you? So why is it if I want to represent my martial arts and we come in to fight, we can't wear gis in there anymore?
Nope.
Why did we get away from that?
They got away from it basically because it's a tool. Let's be honest. If you wear a gi and you're a guy that uses the gi and you're going to fight someone that doesn't use a gi. We'll say you're going to fight a kickboxer.
Mm-hmm.
You're using that as a tool in the fight. You're grabbing your
Mm-hmm.
sleeves for certain things. You're grabbing your lapel. You're wrapping things around. You're holding. You're getting a grip with the use of the gi that you wouldn't have if it wasn't there. So it was you having basically a tool to use against your opponent that made it unfair. Everything was to be, you were matched up as close as possible, in the same thing. It's the same reason, a rash guard for men. You're not allowed to wear a rash guard, but women have to wear tops.
Yeah.
So they get an option. They can wear the sport bra, or they can wear the rash guard that covers the whole thing. So they get that option.
They can wear the long sleeve rash guards though too as well.
No, they cannot.
Women?
No, they cannot.
Okay, so okay.
It's a short sleeve.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I go back to the beginning of the sport. I'm thinking to myself, like, why did we get away from it? I thought we were representing the person's martial art, and that what was the benefit of doing that? Is that they could use whatever weapons they came with, and most of the street fights are in clothes, jackets, sweaters, hoodies, whatever it is. Yeah. And so why would I not?
I would say basically almost all street fights are in clothes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you at LAPD have seen some naked street fights.
I would say that most all, but not, I've seen some things.
Swinging dick everywhere.
Oh yes, you do.
Go out there fighting. That's great.
This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.